All right, hello everybody, and welcome back to the TnT podcast. I'm your host Tim.
And I'm Ted.
All right, this week we'll be talking really about two topics. First of all, is a little bit about the upcoming presidential election and the USPS, the Postal Service, because there's obviously a lot in the news about that lately, due to what the president is doing. Do you want to start by your take on the post office?
Yes. It's very rocky. It's a very rocky little situation where the president's like, they think it's going to be rigged, and like, the ballots are going to be messed up, and it's such a like very mixed situation, and it's like, one side think it's going to be rigged and the other side's going to be rigged, so it's like, how is this going to work? If they think, if they both sides think it's going to be rigged, then why do it at all? But then you're putting so much pressure on these guys that really are just like, how are we supposed to like do all these like 300 million, 330 million like mail-in ballots? It's going to be a lot on these guys to get everything situated and stuff.
Yeah,
like
especially
that.
the president's trying to cut off funding for
Well, especially that too, because like
the post office. And I know they already put out of service. I forget what the exact number was. I think it was like, I think it was 10 of like the huge like mail sorting.
Really?
So that'll severely cut down the amount of mail they can sort.
Wow.
And Trump thinks that mail-in voting is, like you said, it's more or less going to rig it, or that I don't know, I can't think of the word, but that it's gonna make the election results not
realistic, or not more like accurate.
Accurate. That's the word I was trying to think of. But I don't know.
It's going to be very interesting, obviously, with this year, with everything happening. Obviously, this year being one of the most wild years we've all lived through.
Yeah. With the coronavirus, obviously, more people, obviously, it's a general election, so there's going to be a lot more voters than a midterm. So that's, if everyone stands 6 feet apart, there's going to be lines down the street.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, to vote, I'd wait in that line, but there's some people that wouldn't, some people that because of this wouldn't vote at all. So that's why they're primarily doing the mail-in votes, which I know for us in New Jersey, Governor Murphy said that every registered voter is going to receive a mail-in ballot, regardless if you signed up for it. Everyone's just going to get one with a prepaid envelope to send it back, basically.
Yeah. You're registered, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So am I. So
I voted for the Murph man.
I did too. So this year, obviously, when the last presidential election happened, we were
17.
We were 17 at the time. We couldn't vote yet. But even that was very interesting, to say the least, because obviously there was a lot of conspiracy theories with that as well. So it's there's so much around it that you just obviously in the Electoral College, obviously Hillary won the the popular vote, but he won the Electoral College. So obviously there was a mixed bags there for a while.
There's a lot of people that think that the Electoral College is so outdated and that it should just go by the popular vote.
I agree, because it should go by what the majority of the people.
Because then that's where I think everybody's vote will matter.
Yeah.
Right now, how it stands with the Electoral College, your vote doesn't really mean much. Like for us in New Jersey, obviously we're a blue state. There are Republicans, so for them, they're thinking, does their vote count?
Yeah.
When we're a blue state.
Yeah.
Whereas you go to like Texas and you're a Democrat.
Yeah.
Does your vote count?
Or you go to like South Carolina or South Carolina,
any blue state.
Red state. If you're on.
It's the votes in the swing states that matter.
Like Florida, like Ohio, I think also too. Not Texas, but it was Ohio, Florida. I think there's another one too.
I think it was Pennsylvania.
Oh, is it? Okay.
I think I don't know for sure though.
Okay.
But what was the point of us going to that?
No, I'm saying like for like when you have like people that are play for the blue side and they're in a red state.
Yeah, that's where your vote.
Yeah.
Does it matter?
Yeah. So
Whereas if you have a popular vote, where it's just everybody in the country had, we vote,
yeah.
that's where every person's vote will truly matter.
But that's the thing, though, is that where, people say, oh, go vote. But your vote really doesn't matter because it's not only on the electoral college votes that matter. But if you're talking about like state level, yeah, that matters. Like state, local levels.
State and local, that your vote 100% literally matters.
Yeah, like that matters. But on a.
Like when we voted for Murphy.
Yeah.
That mattered.
That mattered. But.
Whereas when we vote in November, will it?
I don't think so. That's the thing. That's the major thing and I agree with you there that it should be gone. The electoral college should be gone because, like I said, obviously it's been around for I think since basically this country began.
Yep.
But it should be gone because
it's a much different world.
Mm-hmm. Now with a lot of people,
with 300 million people.
Yeah. Now
does it still work like it used to?
No, because like obviously there was much less people back in the day that here back in the day than now. So that's the big thing that they really need to go over. With the postal service, like that's a lot of pressure on them because like you're putting so much pressure on them, even though you're defunding them. So how does that make sense? If you're putting so much pressure on them and you're defunding them, how does that work? Like if you want to take the pressure off them, wouldn't you want to fund them? Just so it's like, okay, you guys.
I think what Trump's thinking is that if it's going to be primarily mail-in vote, that mostly Democrats are going to send in their ballot, and then if it's mostly Democrats then.
But so the Reds would do it too. So like it would make sense that like if you would put that in there, you would want. All you should have is an equal playing field. One side shouldn't be favored than the other side. It should be right in the middle and meet right at the point. No side should be favored. It's just be whoever
at an election.
Yeah, like an actual election where actually people just vote and say, this side's the winner. They had the most votes. Boom, they won. Okay, boom, it's over.
It's how it should be, but honestly, who knows when or if it'll ever happen? Really.
Yeah. Because, these a lot of people this year, obviously, because of the recent events that have occurred this year alone, a lot of people, I guess, have been inspired to vote now, because obviously beforehand they weren't, but now a lot of people are being inspired to vote because a lot of people want change and stuff like that because obviously there's been a lot of truths coming out this year and, it's as you should vote, obviously everyone should vote because obviously your vote matters and your opinion matters and it's just trying to get yourself out there because if you get yourself out there that inspires change and you want things to be better, but if you keep it silent it's not going to work out.
So that's why you definitely have to vote, even though like we said in some cases your vote might not matter. That's what a lot of people think, but
local and state wise they matter. That matters.
That's why they should definitely get rid of the electoral college. Yes. But it's not really the point of this episode. We got off on a tangent there, but
no, I mean it does go with the election though. It does, and with that coming up in a few months, it's going to be very interesting to see because obviously in this new normal we're living in, they're doing a lot of it virtually. I know they were doing the Democrats. I saw. I think the Republicans are probably going to do the same. That they're going to do virtual conventions now.
Yeah, the Democratic one's going now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's virtual. Yeah. I'm sure the Republican convention will be the same thing.
Yeah.
But it's what you got to do.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's the only way. I mean, thank goodness for the technology we have today because who knows what would have been like. Can you imagine what it was like in 1918 with the flu pandemic, with all that going on, and all these people, getting it and then can't communicate with them. So it's like, are they okay? Are they good?
And then with schools, there's no virtual schooling.
Yeah.
You could homeschool, but
yeah. So
back then, what? Yeah.
So now, obviously, thank goodness for the technology because now you could easily contact someone and ask if they're okay and stuff like that. It's good. It's good that they have that in their arsenal because this way you can connect online through voters and stuff like that. So it'd be good for them on both sides. So them take advantage of it, which will be very interesting to see once they go head to head, which that'll be Very interesting.
It'll be very interesting to see the debates.
Yes.
I'll definitely be watching those.
Yes. So people should tune into them. Obviously, it's going to be very interesting, to say the least.
See our favorite Donnie boy.
I'd say the Don and Mr. Biden. So we'll see. I mean, I'm not sure when those dates are going to happen. I tried for.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but
I'm not sure, but
they should be interesting.
they'll be soon.
We'll probably
they'll have the three debates and then a VP debate.
Yeah.
And we're 3 months out from the election, so it'll be very soon.
Yeah, we could probably do We'll do some episodes about that. Because we're going to keep a close eye on that.
Yeah,
share our thoughts.
Once the election gets closer, we'll be doing a few episodes
Yeah.
on it, sharing more of our thoughts.
Yes,
that'll be interesting.
Deep discussions on things, and stay tuned for that. So with the Postal Service, like we
We'll
said,
get back to topic.
yeah, with the Postal Service, it's just it's very tough. It's just very tough on them, and obviously when you defund them, it's just more.
They also have all those
pressure.
employees they have to support.
Yes, and they have a ton of employees. My mom's friend is a mailman, and it's like I can imagine what the pressure he has to go through once this starts.
Yeah, but the real issue with them defunding the USPS is, the election. If they don't have the necessary funding to sort and get these ballots counted, they're saying if they don't get more funding that most ballots won't be delivered in time to be counted.
Yeah.
So that's thousands,
millions.
Like it could go into that the ballots that won't be officially counted.
Yeah. So that's another problem, is that it won't be counted at all. There could be like millions of voters that voted, but their vote didn't count
because it didn't get there in time.
No.
That's why we talked about this the other night. Trump is. I don't know. It really seems like he's trying to rig the election.
It's going, he's trying to go into it in his favor. It's a very,
Because like we said before, if, most people are saying that mostly Democrats will do mail-in voting, and that'll be primarily, so could that swing it not in his direction? So it really seems like he's trying to rig it.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be a lot of people that aren't going to want to physically go out and vote because of the virus. And then if we can't mail and vote, then you just can't vote. I don't know.
Yeah. It's just the way it is. I mean, you just don't know. Don't know how it's all going to work out. But, I rather, honestly, like you said, I'd rather just do it. Just go to like the municipal building, just do that and vote there. I don't care if you have to stay 6 feet or whatever. Just, wear your mask and need what you need.
I'd rather vote in the way where I know my vote is going to be counted.
Yeah. Like how it always is. Obviously, you just wear a mask and obviously social distance from whoever is around you, and that's that. I'd rather do that than mail ballot. Because then this way, you don't have to put so much pressure on them. You don't have to worry about defunding them where they have to lay off workers and stuff like that. Which that, also too, with defunding them, they might have to lay off workers.
There's more people losing their jobs on top of the coronavirus already doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
So, so that's another big thing too, is like you're going to put more people without a job, and it'd be without not their control, and it would be in your hands.
Yep. It's, like you said, it's a tricky situation.
Yeah. That's the one thing that I really, I'm going to get a little controversial here, so if there's any Trump supporters, don't come after me. But it's just, he's only caring about himself. That's literally that's the big thing, is that he's like, oh, I don't care, to fund these guys, but they'll lose their job, but I want my result. That's pretty selfish, if you ask me.
Yep.
So,
and instead of having a fair election, giving people as many options to vote, he's trying to get rid of one.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying, is that's pretty selfish in itself. For all our international listeners,
welcome to America.
Welcome to America.
Welcome to America.
Yeah. We do not we are not like our president, so we are not like him. So a lot of people think that because a lot of international people think we're like that. You know what I'm saying? Because like
I mean,
that's like
it's not even here. You look at any other country, you look at their leader,
that's what you base your
you
example.
base your example of those people off of the leader, which isn't true.
Yeah. So
There's a lot of good people in our country, and there's a lot of bad people. There's a lot of good people in Europe. There's a lot of bad people in Europe.
you
Everywhere.
get your good eggs and you get your bad eggs anywhere you go. That's basically to sum it up. That's what it is. You get your good eggs and you get your bad eggs. So, but yes, with the election, obviously, like we said,
We are not Trump supporters.
We aren't, but I try to stay with this, with the podcast, always stay in the middle because we can't favor one side. But
Yeah, so that's one point we'll make once we get close to the election and analyzing what they both say they're going to do for the country. We give credit where credit is due.
Of course.
So if Trump says a good point, we'll say he made a good point here. If Biden makes a good point, we'll say he made a good point.
Yeah, and if one of them
screws up, the other screws up. Well,
yeah, that would be interesting.
What?
See what happens and see who says what.
It'll be interesting.
Yes.
Because neither of them are the best speakers.
No, as we know. Biden, obviously, as for people that don't know, I mean, he made a little interesting statement about the voters, especially the black voters, where they said if you vote Trump, you ain't black.
Yeah.
That's
So I'm saying that neither of them
are
amazing public speakers.
No. They are. The thing is,
they're good on a script, but if they have to talk on their own, then it gets a little fishy.
Yes.
Both of them.
If there's one person, obviously, Obama was a great public speaker. That man,
he was amazing.
He could speak very, very well.
That man can speak.
Also, too, if you want to take a prime example of someone losing an election because they couldn't public speak, JFK and Nixon, 1960. Take a look at that election. Watch that whole clip. Nixon is literally sweating buckets. He's sweating buckets. He looks so nervous. And JFK is calm, cool, collected guy, good looking guy. All young and fresh, stuff like that. But that's what I'm saying.
What are you hitting on JFK?
No, all young and fresh. Because all back in the day, all the girls really liked JFK because he was a good looking guy. So he had a very nice public speaking voice, and obviously Nixon was very nervous. All that, and
Richard Nixon.
Yeah, and Nixon lost because of that debate, because he was very nervous. He wasn't speaking right, and yeah, it's a perfect example of how someone that doesn't have much public speaking experience can lose an election.
Whereas in this case, neither of them do.
Yeah.
So that's not going to be a huge point.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying is it should be very interesting to see because these guys on the fly are very interesting. I would say interesting and somewhat entertaining because we don't know what they will say.
No.
So it's unpredictability and just intrigue because to see what could happen. Because you never know, because, obviously Trump with his interesting nicknames, which are, some of them are actually, I'll give him credit.
Sleepy
some of them
Joe.
They're pretty funny.
Sleepy Joe.
Oh my God.
Crooked Hillary.
Lying Ted.
Ted
Cruz. I gotta admit though, even though I don't really like the guy too well, the guy has some funny nicknames. I gotta give.
Hello, Sleepy Joe.
Yes, that's pretty funny. So, that's one thing I gotta give him credit for, just because of the funny nicknames for these people. So, I forgot the one for Bernie. I don't know if he gave one for Bernie.
No, he did. Let me look it up.
Okay, because I couldn't figure out which one it was, but Lying Ted was one. What Jeb? He gave one for Jeb too. I'm pretty sure. I think he did.
There's a Wikipedia article. List of nicknames used by Donald Trump.
Oh God.
Oh, here we go.
This is gonna be interesting. Let's hear these nicknames. Let's see what we got.
Oh God, there's a lot for Joe Biden.
I know there's Sleepy Joe. There's another one.
Corrupt,
too.
crazy, quid pro, sleepy, creepy, slow, very slow, and then just Sleepy Joe.
Very slow Joe. Oh my God.
Michael Bloomberg. Little Michael Bloomberg, Mini Mike Bloomberg.
I can't believe someone actually made a Wikipedia page.
George H.W. Bush, just Bush original.
Did you really say that? Oh my god.
Oh, Jeb Bush is low energy Jeb.
Low energy Jeb. Wow.
Bill Clinton's just Wild Bill.
Wild Bill. Okay.
Then Hillary Clinton, crazy, crooked, lion, heartless. He said skank. Oh my god.
Oh my god. That's brutal. Oh my god. So, is there one for Bernie? There probably is one.
I didn't get there yet.
Okay. Because I know there has to be one, because they...
For Kamala Harris, Marge Simpson.
Marge, oh my god.
Jesus.
Yeah, see, like, there's ones that are funny, and there's just ones that just cross the line.
Seriously.
But Bernie, good old Bernie.
For Nancy Pelosi, obviously the Speaker of the House. Crazy, nervous Nancy, high tax, high crime. Then just Nancy Pelosi. Okay.
Oh, man. Bernie.
Bernie.
Yeah, here we go.
Basically brain dead Bernie.
Oh my god.
Crazy Bernie, the nutty professor.
The nutty professor.
Jeez.
Brain dead, oh my god. Oh my god. That's brutal, man. He goes after his opponents, man. My goodness. My goodness. But yeah, so we'll see what other nicknames he comes up with during these,
I love for Kim Jong-un, Rocket Man.
That one's good too. We'll see what happens. You know, like we said, we'll see what happens. You know, maybe there'll be more nicknames into these conventions. So we'll see. Creepy Joe, Sleepy Joe could be more. You never know.
Oh,
You never know what you're gonna get from Donnie Don.
For the TV show Meet the Press, he called it Meet the Depressed.
Wow.
My God.
Yeah. So there's he has a lot of names for a lot of stuff. You know, he tries to be the big bully, tries to bully his opponents.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was all his nicknames. So you know that's
There's a lot of them.
A lot of nicknames because we wanted to see what other nicknames he had for Joe and try to go back with Hillary and Bernie and all the other opponents that he's faced, like Ted Cruz, obviously Lion Ted, of course. Yeah, anything to say?
Just make sure you go out and vote. We're a ways away from the election still. And hopefully this whole USPS situation will be figured out. And if you want to go out and vote, you can. If you want to mail in and vote, you also can.
Yes.
So, like we said, once the election gets closer, we will be watching it closely and discussing on here. Yeah. Basically, that's it.
Yeah.
And once we get closer, we're going to try and keep it unbiased, try and, see both sides. But
yeah, like we said, we're no in favor of any side. We're staying neutral as possible, and just try to hear, like we said, just hear the good points and hear the bad points made by both sides. So
yep. With that said, hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Make sure to check out all our social media links as well as our YouTube channel, obviously TnT Podcast. We are putting up every episode we've done so far onto YouTube, and after we are caught up, we'll be doing some exclusive content for our channel. As I said, TnT Podcast. With that said, thank you guys for listening, and we will catch you next week.
peace, guys.